Hey Alex, Mr. Allen here. I thought this might be the quickest way to kind of go over 6C here. It's not too bad a question, but there are a couple of things that you might be missing that are causing it to be a tougher question. So I'll say first, there are two possibilities. The first one is because the question is just asking us to get two jelly beans, both red, and we don't have to worry about getting a red followed by a blue followed by another red or anything like that. We can handle it just kind of straightforward and say, I'm going to get red followed by red followed by red. I mean, obviously there's only two in this case, but because I don't have to worry about the ordering in any way, I could simply do, I have 10 red jelly beans out of a total of 18. So the chances that the first one, or the probability that the first one is red, is 10 out of 18. The probability that the second one is red, once I've chosen one red one, there are 9 red ones left out of the 17 remaining in the bag. And so that will actually get me my answer this way. Now I can simplify this a bit, divide 9 out of each of these, divide 2 out of these, and I'm left with 5/17. My guess is, since that's the answer that was in that was added on at the end of the page, that's the point in which this question came up. I kind of pulled them from a couple different sections. At this point, I think there's maybe a slightly nicer answer, one that will work even if we had to get two jelly beans two red and 3 black or something like that. And that's the when we get into the combinations. Whenever I see something like this, 5 choose 2, I read it as, a combination 5 combination 2. I always read it as 5 choose 2. And that kind of gives me an idea of when I can use that. So in this case, there are 18 jelly beans, 10 of which are red, 8 of which are black. I want to choose 2 red ones out of the bag. Now again, I'm going to do that randomly, but the idea is that I can do 10 choose 2, and that would be the number of different ways that I could get 2 out of this grouping, 2 red jelly beans out of this grouping. If I wasn't interested in any specific limitations and I wanted to just allow for all 18 jelly beans, 2 of them to be chosen, this is the way I would do the question. So here I've got 10 red ones from which I want to choose 2. Those will be considered the successful situations, the ones that I'm being asked about here. 18 choose 2 is the total number of possibilities regardless of whether I want red or black or anything else. And if you punch this into a calculator, you find that it's right around 29%. And this number happens to be exactly the same if you divide it out. You'll find it's 29% as well. So I think moving forward, this is the better way to do the question. And again, if we had a question D here that said, what is the probability of getting 2 red and 2 black if I'm choosing 4 at random? This first method doesn't work because I can't say that I'm going to do 10 out of 18 as my first choice, because that suggests that I have to get a red one to start. And of course, if I'm just looking to get 2 red and 2 black because I grabbed 4 all of a sudden, it doesn't matter which order they come up. So in this case, if I want 2 red and 2 black, I've got 10 red from which I have to choose 2. I've got 8 black from which I have to choose 2. And again, the probability is the number of ways this can happen over the total possibilities, which is, if I didn't have any limitations, there would be 18 to choose from, and I would be choosing 4, and whatever that works out to be would be your answer there. So I think overall that's the better way to do the question, because it handles the situations that get a little bit more complex. This is where the 5/17 came from specifically in this case though. So hopefully that helps. Certainly this is a fairly important thing. It works nicely for things like committees being formed. If I need 2 principals and 5 teachers, I get 2 principals out of the 20 or so in the board. So 20 choose 2. I need 5 teachers out of the say 55 in the board. 55, choose 5. And again, out of the total number of possibilities without limitation would get me the probability for that.